Good morning. Just checking that we are live, and it looks like we are. So let me see if I can find me here. And there I am. Yay. Let's see if anybody's, I didn't really advertise today very well, but I'm hoping that a couple of you will turn up and let me know whether I'm actually live and you can hear me. Before we get started. So today I am doing a little bit of free creating. I got some new product. It's been sitting on my desk for a couple of weeks now, and I really wanted to use it. So I have a colour challenge to create for. That's Colour Challenge $1.99 over at the Colour Inkspiration site. I'm just going to turn off my light because it's annoying me, annoying my eyes. Yes, so I'm creating for that. So I'm going to use this set, even though it is the least, the last colours that you would think that you would use with the beautiful Brushed with Beauty suite of products. I'm sorry, but Cherry Cobbler, Shaded Spruce and Pecan Pie do not scream beauty to me. I'm not sure about you. I'm just gonna I can see that there are some people watching, so I'm just assuming that you're not logged in and you can't comment. So we'll keep going. I'm I don't have a lot of housekeeping today, but I will show you the Colour Inkspiration Challenge. So let's jump over to that screen. There we go. There it is. Cherry Cobbler, Shaded Spruce, Pecan Pie. It's quite a festive look. It does have a lot of white in it though. So maybe that's a little hint as to how to use these colours together. Use lots of white. So now I haven't used lots of white, and I have on my desk something that is okay, but a bit not great. So we're going to try and fix it. So that's the Colour Inkspiration Challenge. Now I've put the link in the comments below. If you would like to play along, then those are the colours, and you can use neutrals and you can use metallics. If you don't have those exact colours, you can substitute something that's pretty close, like real red or a red ink for Cherry Cobbler, and Shaded Spruce is a very green. So any green inks that you have, you could use instead of that. And then of course Pecan Pie is a brown, a mid-brown. All right, let's come back here. So we're going to jump over to my craft desk, and we are going to have a quick little look at what I have created already. So let me do that. Desktop, I better put my light back on. And I have one piece to add to this. Oh, the light's not great, is it? It's because I have a different position. How's that? That might be a bit better. I've got one more piece to add to this, but I want to show you what I've used to start with. It's very green, very green. So the suite that I'm using is new. It's a new online exclusive, I think that's right. It's called Brushed with Beauty, and it includes 2 stamp sets and 2 dies. Now when these come, they are in the new packaging. This is my first experience with the new packaging, and I will tell you something. So this is the Petals of Beauty, which is a floral set. Now this is how they will come now in these packs. Everything new that comes out from Stampin' Up is going to be photopolymer, and they come in these very tall packs. This is if you are coming in on the replay, let me know if you have any of this packaging yet. But it is 9 inches or 23 centimeters high, and it is about 14 centimeters or 5.5 inches wide, and it comes with this very large piece of packaging which I've already mucked up. So here's a little hint for you, tip for you. When you get your stamp set and you excitedly pull it out and want to play with it, do not throw away, or do not lose. It's not thrown away, it's lost on my desk somewhere and I will have to find it. But in the meantime, I'm going to use this. There's a piece of plastic. Where's the other one? It comes on the front of the... Oh, here's the other one. So this is the other one that comes in this week. This is called Words of Beauty. And it has this piece of plastic on the front like this. Hello, Barb. You're in the cage again. I am in the cage, yes. I haven't decorated it yet. Anyway, your stamps come with this little piece of light plastic on the front like that when you get them. This isn't the right one. This one actually belongs to this because it's longer. Like that. And that's how they come. So my advice would be is, I haven't quite yet worked out what I'm going to do, how I'm going to store these as yet. But my advice would be to, it's not like the DVD cases. It's very different. It's going to take a bit of getting used to. Do not throw away this piece of plastic. Keep it and put it back until you decide what you're going to do with your stamps. So I just threw mine down on the desk and I just popped my stamps back in here, closed it up and put them aside and worked on something else. And then when I came to open this up, the stamps had stuck to the front of the paper. And oops, just like this, see? They're very sticky. So they stick and then it all sticks. And then this one actually tore and came off on my stamps, which I've managed to clean off. This little bit here I haven't. I managed to clean off with stamping mist and my scrub thing. But be very aware, do not throw away this piece of sheet. Now I'm going to work out how I'm going to store mine and then I will come back and let you know what I'm going to do. But this is not how you want your stamping bits to be. So just be very careful about that, because they store in here and these will stick to the paper if you throw away that piece of plastic. So I'm going to, well, then they go in here like this, and this is quite nice and it's reasonably sturdy and it will sit nicely in a container, but just be aware of that. So yeah, I'll have to find the other piece to go on here now, but I think I'll just put this on there for now so it doesn't stick to anything else. So they're the two sets. We've got Petals of Beauty and Words of Beauty come in this suite. Now, same thing again, when you get your dies out, just be a little careful with them. This is the Petals of Beauty dies. They come in the same size packaging, so everything's going to fit nicely in the little containers, whatever you're going to put them in now. But this comes in here, and when you've got all your dies on there, when you first get it, it's fine because the tape's sort of covered. But after you take your dies off and you walk away and you have it down, and don't close that up because your paper sticks to this tape. So that's another thing to be aware of. So I'll put this on a magnetic sheet, but however you normally store your stamps, be careful, you may need a piece of acetate or plastic in there if you're not going to put it on another sheet, just to make sure that nothing sticks to this lovely packaging piece. So I've just got everything out on the desk now until I sort out what I'm going to do with them, so I don't stick anything. So I'm in a bit of a mess because I've got everything out everywhere. So these are the dies that go with this one. So they cut all of the flower and leaf shapes out, as well as some freestanding ones. Freestanding, cut alone, stand alone, whatever you call them. Then we've got the these dies, which are the Words of Beauty dies, which go with this, and these are quite interesting. There's some beautiful little sentiment holders, and these cut out word dies, which are multiple layer. There's 3 dies for just and 3 dies for because. So we'll have a look at those as we go through the project. So just going to pop, I'm going to leave that one there because to finish off my project I need to add because I've got the because, and then we're going to use one of these sentiments. So what will we say today? Because, what about you're a great friend? Which one will that cut out? Let's have a little look. So the dies should cut these out. So you're a great friend, because you're a great friend. And that one is this one, and that die will fit nicely around there. So let's use that one. And I think I'm just going to stamp it in Pecan Pie onto basic beige. Now, instead of white in my card, I've used basic beige as my neutral. The white seemed to be a little bit harsh with what I was using, so I'm using basic beige. So let's go ahead and find a block. Find a block, Cheryl. This one is huge, but it will do. And let's stamp that onto some basic beige cardstock with Pecan Pie. So we're going a bit backwards here. I'm making my card at the end, but then we're going to change it up. I haven't seen Brenda come in today, Barb. No. Now, Pecan Pie. So we'll just pick that up. Now this is brand new. I haven't seasoned it or done anything with it, so we may have to stamp it a couple of times. Barb, can you hear me okay? My microphone fell apart this morning, so I'm hoping that it's all working. You're a great friend. All right, we'll put that over there for a minute. And I'll just grab my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, which is way over here. And let's cut this out, shall we? Right, I'll get a little bit of tape to hold it down. No problems with sound? Excellent, thank you very much. I'm so glad you're here, Barb. All right. Bring this through, pull it out, put my die back where I can find it, and this can go along here, like something like that. Now you'll notice that this card is wonky. I've made a wonky card. Highly unusual for me. Now I'm going to sit that one down flat, I think. Even though it's got lots of things to sit on, maybe I might pop it up underneath. I'm going to help you. We're going to make a few decisions here today, Barb. I think I'll do it flat. I'll just put a little bit of glue along there. That's what happens when you're designing right before you go live. Right, just tuck this in under, try not to get glue everywhere. Now, I'm just running with the because the whole card is wonky. I don't really know where straight is at the moment. It's one of the reasons why I don't usually do. No, there's no one. You're the only one in here, Barb. It's just you and me having a little creative live time. I'm sure I'll get some people come back and watch later on, but at the moment it's just you and me. Now I've got a little bit of leaf here that I want to stick down. Right. Okay. So that's the finished card, Barb. How did we go? Sharon's gone out to lunch, so she won't be here today. So my little spanner's not here, so you can be my little helper, Barb. All right, so that is the finished card. So I've used the because in the dies, and I don't know if you can see that, but there's a few layers to it, so that's how the dies come out with the words. But you can also stamp the word because, and which is, where's the stamp set? Oh, here it is. That's just, here's because, on a block. Can you see that? Put it over here. So you can stamp that, and you can also cut that out, which is what I've done here. So I embossed it onto, with white, onto Pecan Pie card, and I was just playing around with the dies to see what they did, and it does cut that out with quite a fine little border, which is lovely. So yeah, so lots of different options for those dies. They come with 3 different because dies. So you can see here, there's the one on the top, which I put on Pecan Pie with some sticky back on it. And then I did 2 layers of basic beige. So that's the fine one. Then there's this one, which also cuts out the word. And then there's this one, which makes the background. So that's the 3 layers. And this one I just added a little bit of Pecan Pie ink that was left in my brush to make that a little bit darker. So that's the words of beauty, which are quite nice. And then all of the things that go with them, it's like, there's just in the smaller font and the large font. So it's like, because you're a great friend, because it's your birthday, because I appreciate you, I think you're amazing, because you've been on my mind, you're so lovely, you're so kind, you're so sweet. Or you could put just lovely. Anyway, you can mix them all up quite a lot. Just because it's your birthday, just because I love you. So you mix and match all of those up. They'll be quite interesting to play with. So anyway, this is my card for the Colour Inspiration Challenge. So we've got Cherry Cobbler Designer Series paper in the leaves here, some Cherry Cobbler in the background paper there. So we're going to go up though, and I think the green is a little bit in your face. So we're going to change it up somewhat and make something else. All right. Yeah, it was very quick, wasn't it, Barb? Now let's go home. No, no, we're going to change it up and try and make it not so in your face green, and see if I can do a little better. This is a very somber card. All right. So what have I got here? Got all the bits. We're going to start with a white card. That cut and folded, and we will just, whoops, give that a little bit of a burnish. Now on my papers we'll do exactly the same thing. So I've got these ones cut. Now this paper is one that I have not used as yet, and it is called Need for Tweed. So let's have a little look at that. Look at some of these are just gorgeous. I could have some jumpers made out of these, I reckon. Coats. So it's all this fabric-y type look. Look at that one. It's obviously a photograph, and it just looks, and it's about the right size. It's beautiful. That was that one we've used. So you get, looks like you get 3 sheets of each in this one, in 12 by 12. This one, which is a very close-up tweed look, great for mail cards. What's on the back of that one? Look at that one. These are all be great for mail cards. This one is the Cherry Cobbler one that I'm using, which is a very definite slub look tweed. Can't get you on your tablet either. Oh dear. And then look at this one. See, that's got Cherry Cobbler in it, and had green been in the mix, like a proper green, not shaded spruce, then that would have been gorgeous to use. And then this one, which is the darker tweedy type pattern, which was on the back of this one. Oh, a very dark graphic one. So quite interesting paper in that little bundle, but I'm using the Cherry Cobbler one, and then this one, which is basic beige. Oh, it's got that beautiful one on the back. That's pretty, but we can't use that green because it's not in the colour challenge. So we can use beige, so that's what we're using. So I use that one in the background, and I'm just going to glue that on. bit of glue. Sometimes this is a brand new glue, and sometimes when I open a brand new glue, it doesn't want to be my friend, and this is one of those glues. It doesn't want to come out, and then when it does, it's just have a little air bubble in it or something. It's very comes out a lot when it does come out. All right, so that is that. I don't normally stick layers the same size as the card front on my card because I invariably get it wrong. It sticks out, but I've got that one pretty good. So we're not going to show any white at all. I'm done with white for this card. Now this one, I think that is white, but it looks very nude beigey, doesn't it? So now we're going to wonk this one, and I've cut it slightly smaller. So if you don't like wonky layers, you could put it like that. But I'm actually going to put it like this because my next layer, which was the shaded spruce, is the same size, and then that one's going to be wonked this way. But we're going to use basic beige instead. We're going to tone this card down a lot, so we're going to use basic beige on here. So let's go ahead and glue this one on because we're not doing anything to that. Oh, I love that one there. Love it. So we'll just add some glue. For me, it's best to get whatever layers I know are fixed down first so I don't lose them on my craft desk. Cherry Nice, yes. Cherry Cobbler is Cherry Nice. Cherry Cobbler is quite a dark red. It's almost a maroony colour. So there we go. So I've wonked that off. And now we need to add this layer, but we're going to do some stamping. So I'm just going to move all this out of the road for a minute. So what I added in here was I got my Petals of Beauty. We're not using any flowers because this paper was so masculine. I was sort of heading in a masculine direction. My poor paper that I'll have to try and fix. So remember, don't throw this piece away. Now we're going to use this one. First thing I always did was throw that piece away. Now I'll have to remember not to. And then we'll use this little tiny leafy bit here. Such a learning curve. All right, blocks. Need a couple of blocks. This one can be for the small one. And a slightly larger one for this solid sort of leaf. Right, now I've got, for this card I used shaded spruce on the shaded spruce card, so we'll do the same. We'll use basic beige on the basic beige card and stamp up our leaves. How heavily inked is this paper? Where's my bit of scrap? I'm going to work off the piece, so I will use my scrap. Let's do a tester. Yeah, that looks okay. Alright, so now we want to just add our leaves randomly around the page. Leave a little bit of a gap in between so that we can add some of the other leaf shape. See, it's got a very interesting little swishy watercolory look to it. Quite like it. It looks way more delicate than it does actually on the stamp itself. Alright, that might do. Just put that aside for a minute. And we'll do this other little, this is a strange little leaf, this one. It's almost a weedy look. So we'll just fill in the gaps with this little weed. Okay, now I've got a bit, we'll fit a bit in there. Yeah, why not? We're going to cover it over, and it's going to have lots of texture, so she'll be right. We'll just add a bit here and here. There we go. All right. We'll leave that out because we're going to do a bit of sponging. But first of all, I wanted to add extra texture. Don't know if you can see, you see that extra texture in there? So I used an embossing folder, Gathering Leaves. Now there is an embossing folder that comes with this suite. It's this one, and it's called something. I don't know where the packet is. Here it is. Beautiful pattern. And I thought, well, this really goes well with this because it looks like sort of a argyle type checky design. But I didn't want to put it on my leaves, so I'm going to use that on my banner. So for my leaves, I've pulled out my current favourite, which is the Gathering Leaves, this huge embossing folder. And we're going to run this through. Now my card is horizontal, so we'll run it through this way. And being such a large folder, oh look, I'm just going to clean that off. Can you see that, Barb? Can you see the green? Maybe it might be an interesting effect. Let's leave it in there. So when I did this one, obviously shaded spruce is a really strong colour, and I put it in the embossing folder. The ink must have been a little bit wet, and it has got on the embossing folder and left a pattern. But you know what? I'm going to leave it on there and see what it looks like. I don't know if you can see that. Yes, you can. Look at that. Let's see what that looks like, shall we? Oh dear, Cheryl. So we'll run this through with my specialty plate. It's a 3D embossing folder. Oh, might have added an extra pattern in here. Look at that. Oh, I like it. We just discovered a technique by accident. So I better remember to clean that out later because it's still got green in there. Lucky this wasn't some, you know, pink colour. Doesn't that look great? Look at it in here. Oh, I like it. Oh, I'm impressed with myself. Totally by accident. Now, I wanted to give this a grungy feel to go with the, oh wow, to go with the background. So I am going to distress this with my paper snips. Now I'm going to put my ink out of the road because bits of paper go everywhere when you do this. So we'll just, using the blade of your paper snips, give it a good old rough up. Now some people hate this. They just hate the distressed look. But I think that it goes really well when you're trying to create a certain look, which in this one is a bit of a grungy textural effect. Get rid of all the little bits of fluff, and then we're going to add some sponging around the edge. So I'll grab my little bit of basic beige ink on a block. I do have a basic beige blending brush which somehow or other has got red in it. It's just me being messy. And we'll just, adding the colour just around the edge just helps to intensify that or show off that distressing that you just did. But it is handy to use the block for this because lots of little bits of fluff will come off onto your brush from the distressed edge, and if I was to put that straight back in my ink pad, they would get all over my ink pad. So another good reason to use a block. Need a bit more ink. Now if I'd tried to have that green bits in the background, it wouldn't have worked, only because I wasn't trying. But that's worked like that. But I'm gonna claim it and pretend I meant to do that. All right. So now we've got quite a distressed looking background. Basic beige is very green looking, isn't it? Especially when you add a green to it. Basic beige has got a very green undertone. Right, now this is going to go, oh, I'm liking this one, Barb. What do you think? I'm liking it a lot. Okay, that can go straight down onto there. We're not going to add anything else. Oh, yes, we are. I forgot a step. This, we'll grab this again. We're going to splatter. We're going to give it some splatter. I did add splatter. You can hardly see it in the other one. Let's see if it stands out any more in the basic beige. So I've just got some ink on my block, and I have some water here with a paintbrush. And I'm just going to take some water and mix up all of that lovely ink until it's filled my brush. I'm going to move everything out of the road because it's like me and splatter. So I've got this piece of paper. I'm actually going to lift it up and put this up like that at the back so that I don't get splatter all over my computer, which is sitting just here. So I've got lots of ink in there. I'll grab a bone folder and spill the ink everywhere, as Duncan says. So messy, Cheryl. You always spill your ink everywhere. He's hilarious. Alright, so that's just adding just an extra little bit of texture in there. Now I am going to clean this off. A bit of paper towels and then get it all over the place. Yes, I do like a bit of grunge. I used to always do grungy messy cards once. Alright, so now we are, that one doesn't even need drying, it looks pretty good. So that's going to go on there like that. So we might just leave that aside to sit and dry for a minute and we'll work on the next bits. So the next bits were, I don't know if you can see it, but there's actually I pulled out the, what are these? Nested Essential dies, and I'm going to cut this banner here. And it's going to go underneath, and I've cut up that already. It's the largest one, and it's out of the Pecan Pie because that's one of the colours that I've got to use. And now I want to add some texture to that because we're in a textural mood today. So this is where I'm going to use this whatever that was called, something pattern. So we will pop that in here. It is beautiful patterns, and it doesn't feel like anything on this side, but this side the dots are really raised up, so it really does make a quite distinct pattern. So let's run that through and have a look at it. So again, that's a 3D folder. It doesn't actually say on there that it's 3D, but it is because it's thick. Right, now look at that. So I'm going to add some ink to that. So I'm going to add some Pecan Pie ink to it. Now that I've cleaned that block off, we can add that to there. Grab my Pecan Pie ink blending brush. Just about covers this entire thing, which is lovely because it picks up the pattern really well. Now most of this will be covered, so it doesn't really matter. Right, let's bring this in. Now you can put this anywhere you like on here because we've wonked the card up. It doesn't matter if it's not straight, but I'm sort of going to follow the line of this one, I think. We might put it straight, I'm not sure yet. We'll see how we go. Alright, now other elements. So, let's have a look. This is where we started. Get rid of this piece of rocky old paper. It's looking very different, isn't it? I'm liking this much better. Right, so I've die cut a heap of elements. out of the Petals of Beauty dies. So it's got, I've got lots of different ones here. It's got this larger leafed sprig, and I cut those out of Designer Series paper, and it comes from the, I can't remember, let me have a look. Splendid Autumn. So it's got all these quite dark colours, and Cherry Cobbler is one of them, so I cut those out of that Cherry Cobbler paper. I've also cut them out of green, because now we need to bring some green, we need to bring the shaded spruce back in, even though I accidentally got it on there, so I could claim that that's my shaded spruce. I think we do need to add some shaded spruce back in, so we might ditch the Cherry Cobbler leaves for the moment. I also did them out of gold, but I thought the gold was a bit too much gold, especially because these look so much nicer in this finer spray of leaves. I've got this one which I cut up. So this is a full one, and I just cut it here, and then I've got two. Ta-da! And then I've got some word bits, but we'll have to decide what we do with those in a minute. Now, I also had some basic beige leaves in here, which I didn't die cut, so I'll just grab some basic beige and we'll do that. Got a big bit here. Now, that is this die here, the same one that I did the gold pieces out of. So I'll just cut this card up, and I'll run this through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine quickly. I'm glad you're here, Barb, or I would have been talking to myself, which, you know, is pretty normal. I quite often talk to myself, but it's very nice to have someone, to feel like you're talking to someone. Right. Okay, so we probably only need the one. I will cut it in half, so we'll have two pieces. Maybe I should do another one. I'll just do another one, just in case. I can pop it away. Right, put this out. There we go. This gets lots of little inset pieces, make interesting shapes. Right. Okay, now I'm going to do the same sort of thing, make a little, you know, bouquet of leaves here in different pieces. Now, I haven't put any sticky on the back of these because I quite like the fact that they're a bit flippy, but one of these needs to be cut down. Just cut that off there. Made a bit smaller. And we'll add all our other bits in. What else have we got? Basic beige. It's too long. It's just too long. Let's cut it off. Can't remember what I did. Cut this one off here. Yep, there we go. In there somehow, something like that. Now, word-wise, we could do the same as we did here. I did do another one earlier, And I white heat embossed that stamped sentiment onto pecan pie card. Then I've got a larger background piece, and that could go on there like that, which I quite like. Otherwise, we do have the brown one. Let's have a look at the brown one. I've got this piece done in pecan pie. And you could have it just like that with a fine border. You could do what I've done with the other one. See, I think that one fades back into nothing, so we could add it to this. What do you think, Barb? Or this one? Is that white embossing powder too white? Do you think? Maybe this one would look, this one looks a bit better, and then I can ink up the, because we don't have any other white on the card. So I'll just add a little bit of ink to the background to make it stand out. Yeah, I think we'll go with that one. I think we'll go with that one. You have some birds with you. Can you hear the birds outside? That's amazing. All right, I'm going to add some ink to this. So just push all this out of the road for a minute. And how much ink do we have in the pecan pie brush? Still quite a bit. Okay. I think it's just sparrows. I can see them outside here. I don't think it's any very exciting birds. It's a funny old day here today. It's sort of, it's sort of cloudy, not really overcast, but it does feel like it might rain. Alright, so I've taken the sticky off the back of this, and then we've just got to position this onto this word. Like that. And then I'll just add some glue to the back of this. See this glue, I'm putting quite a bit of pressure on it. It won't come out, and then all of a sudden it all comes out. I'll have to try and, there must be a little air bubble in there. Right, now carefully chip this up. Put it on there like that. And that will go across there like that. So now we can glue all of our bits together. I have lots of leftovers. Get them out of the road. And before we do that, we need to do our ribbon element. So I grabbed the basic beige. I don't have any Cherry Cobbler ribbon, and I don't have pecan pie ribbon. I don't have shaded spruce ribbon. So I had to go with what else I used, which was the basic beige. So I've got this one. And this one, I've actually cut it in half to make it more loopy, so it's not a structured bow. So how much will we need? A bit. We need ribbon scissors, which are here somewhere. Whoops. I just had them a minute ago because I put them aside so I wouldn't use them. Here they are. Ribbon scissors. Okay, so we just cut a strip of ribbon. Oh. And I'm going to slice it up the middle. Now obviously I can never get it exactly straight, but I know that this ribbon just, it doesn't totally unravel, it just frays a little bit, which is fine. Oops, that went a bit crooked. But you do need nice sharp scissors, so I keep these scissors specifically for use with ribbon so they don't get any of my messy glue on it. Right, and then just go through and do that, and it will pull off any bits that I'm actually gone pretty straight. See, these bits will just come off and make a little, just a slightly frayed edge, but it gets rid of all of the whiskery bits. Now, let's see what I've done with this side, because I did go quite a bit crooked in one little spot here. Pull them all off, and it just makes a nice little sort of a frayed edge, but you can't really even see it. Right, that will do. We'll put them both together and tie a little bow. Oops, some more fraying happening. Alright. Now let's get our loops. Oh, I didn't tie that very well, did I? Let's try again, Barb. That's a bit better. A bit more even lengths now. Just tighten it up. They look about the same. Okay, I'll trim those off to suit in a minute. Okay, and that's sort of going to go in there. Oh, they're huge. We might have to pull those down a little bit more. Okay. How's that? All right, can you remember what I've done there, Barb? Because I don't have my phone to take a photo, which is what I would normally do. Maybe if I lift this up a little bit and just put it over there. Let's glue this one on. Oops. Wonk it the other way, so that just a touch of the Cherry Cobbler peeks out from behind. Right. Now our little banner, and I'm just going to put that on flat. And with this one I went with the same level, same angle, but I think I might put this one straight. Let's try and ignore the wonking and go with, let's put it straight. Do a little bit of experimenting. So let's line this one up here, like that. Does that look too weird being straight? It's down now anyway, Barb. Straight it is. Now we'll put our leaves on next, and the gold ones are the trickiest because I always invariably get glue on the front of my gold. What's going on with this glue? See if I can fix it. I don't feel like it's blocked. Whoops. Now I've got ribbon shred stuck to my gluey fingers. Oops, spread that out a bit. So there's other things to go on top, so it doesn't really matter if it doesn't get glue, as long as I don't get glue on the front. I think I've been a bit successful. Now the because is going to sit about here, so you want all the ends of your leaves to sit underneath the because. And we'll put this little one up here. like that. This one's to come out down here. Just a couple of little dots of glue here and there. And we've got another little gold leaf here. Now, where did I have that one? Did I have that one up the top, Barb? Because it's going to go there. I've got these leaves to fit in. Maybe I better do this one. These leaves sort of go down here. Right, just put this one in. Now these leaves have got little slits in them. The die actually makes little slits in the leaves, so we'll put glue on either side of the split so it doesn't ooze out. Right, it's going to go across here. Now we're missing a little bit of green there. I wonder what I did with that other leaf. Here it is. Let's see what, if any of this one sticks out down the bottom there. I don't think it's, oh yeah, it might. Right, we'll put this one on. We'll tuck our gold one in at the end. So, again, just a few little dots. Here like that. Where will we add this little gold leaf? It needs to go in here somewhere. No, maybe up here. What about in there, Barb? That looks better, doesn't it? Alright. I'm seeing some yeps and straight, thank you, Barb. I'm into sticking mode now. Trying to remember to keep an eye on the screen. Now, where did I have that? Up in here. This leaf conveniently hasn't stuck down. Right. Now, we've still got this little green piece here. If I was to trim this off a little bit better, that one could come down here. Yep. It's got a little bit of a stick in the middle. We'll get rid of that, and I'm just going to glue those into center. Not that it matters because we're going to put another sentiment on, but oops, glue everywhere. Okay. There we go. And now our because can go across there like that. And I popped that up with dimensionals, but I made a bit of a blue here, and I didn't look where I was putting my ribbon, and of course the dimensionals interfered with the ribbon. Oops. So we need to be aware of that. So where's this going to go? I have to trim this off. This is way too long. Go in here. Just behind the because, or a bit further down? Something like that. So if I put a dimensional at the top of the B, and then start at the C, and don't worry about the rest of the B. Okay, dimensionals. Top of the B, will this one fit? Yes. And then start at the C. And then the ribbon should be enough to hold the rest of it up. You could probably put a glue dot on it. This in there, yes. What did I do there? And we'll just put a glue dot on there. And we'll hold our ribbon down with a glue dot as well. Like that. Take all our backings off. I can't remember how we did this, but it was something like that, I think. Is it straight, Barb? Because. Okay. Now we need another sentiment, like we did on here. Just trim all these ribbon bits off, hey? And what will we use this time? What will we use? I put those stamps somewhere safe so they wouldn't stick to anything. Let me have a look. Best laid plans, and they're not in a case, they're just floating around somewhere without a top on them. Here, no. Not under that one. Maybe we won't have another sentiment, Barb. Because up here now, underneath everything else. Oh, so I put the bag on the front so they wouldn't stick to anything. Because I really like, I think you're amazing. Will that fit in one of those? I like the long one though. I might use the You're a Friend. I've got it out here. I'll use that again. And I'll just clean that off because it's got, well, it doesn't matter because we're going to do pecan pie anyway. So pecan pie on basic beige. So I've got a piece of basic beige here, and I've got my pecan pie ink. It is a lovely ribbon. It's nice and neutral, and you can colour it with your Stampin' Blends if you want a different colour. So I could have actually coloured it if I wanted to have a different colour. You are a great friend. Okay, because you're a great friend, Barb. This card's just for you. Now, this is one of the dies out of those words, so we'll use that. Just find some tape to tape it down in place. I'll run that through my little machine here. And again, I think I will glue that one down flat, like that. I think I need my glue rubber. I have no idea whether this is all straight. There's too many angles now for me to tell. That'll do though. Alright. So that is pretty much it. I'm not going to do the inside. I'm just going to see what colours the embellishments are that come with this suite. Oh, seeing as they're the only ones I've got out here, it's not going to tell me. These sort of look like basic beige, don't they? Do you think I'll be able to get away with calling them basic beige? Maybe if I go in and have a quick look at what they are, because I think I had that open. Let me have a look. Words of Beauty, yes I did. I will, they're called Pearls of Beauty, and the colours are Calypso, oh it's Crumb Cake. Calypso Coral, Crumb Cake and White. Crumb Cake's a neutral, I could probably get away with it. They look quite nice. Let's do that. I think it needs, this one doesn't need anything, I don't think, because it's a bit already in your face. But this one is much gentler and could do with a little bit of bling. So let's add some. Got a take pick tool. The white one's quite nice, but there's no other white on there. So we'll stick with our Crumb Cake. There we go. How's that, Barb? What do you think? Do you like this one better? I like this one better. I like this one much better. It's lovely and floaty. Yes, I think so too. Sort of looking, these are a bit, I might have to fix this ribbon up a little bit. I wonder if it's still pullable. Just pullable. I'll make that a little bit shorter. There we go. Still pullable. All right. So thank you very much for coming and joining me live, Barb. Let me come back to my face so I can say goodbye properly. Wish I could see your face. Crumb Cake, yes, Crumb Cake. I had a lady who used to craft with me before, and she used to always call it cake crumb. All right, so thank you so much, Barb. It was so lovely to catch up with you, and I really appreciate you coming along and chatting with me. And we will, a new word, cake crumb. She just couldn't get her head around crumb cake. She thought it should be cake crumb. Yeah, so yes, we will hopefully see you next week. Now, next week we are going to go back to creating with the Lights of Aurora set. I've got another card here to do with the Lights of Aurora. So next week we'll be doing another Lights of Aurora card. I just had to do this one because of the colour challenge today. Originally I was going to do Lights of Aurora and changed my mind so that I could do the colour challenge while it was still fresh and new, because that started last night. So if you are watching the replay, remember that the link to the colour challenge is in the description below, and we would love to have you join us if you want to pop your cards up made with this colourway. You don't have to do bright green like my first card. You could do use a neutral and tone it right back down. And we hope to see you in the next 2 weeks. You've got 2 weeks to get your cards up. Thank you very much, ladies, and I'll see you, and Barb, I'll see you next week. Bye for now.